Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Is it worth a buy? Is it? Schnell. Well, let's read the words of the developer. America, 1961. The assassination of Nazi General Death's Head was a short-lived victory. The Nazis maintained their stranglehold on the world. You are B.J. Blazkowicz, a.k.a. Terror Billy, member of the Resistance, scourge of the Nazi Empire, and humanity's last hope for liberty. Yes, guys, it's another Wolfenstein game. The game that is so special to me. It was the first ever first-person shooter I played. Wolfenstein 3D on shareware in DOS many moons ago. Oh, how we laughed, how we loved, how we thought, wow, this is the new way to play games. If only we could have gone forward 30 odd years in time to see the absolute banter piss of games released today under the genre first-person shooter. Games like Destiny, Mac, just get on with it. I didn't like the last two Wolfensteins, guys, because they were hand-holding, cutscene-ridden piles of filth that showed you every single thing that you had to do. They left nothing for you to do yourself. It was just a simple case of follow the blue fucking circle all the way around the maps. They were just vomit-inducing piles of banter wank. So is this one any better? Well, kind of. Yeah, it is. It's better. It's better, guys. It's better, but then it's worse, but then it's better. But then it's not Return to Castle Wolfenstein. It's just not. It's Return to Castle Social Justice Warrior Stein, kind of. So anyway, guys, what's it like? Let's just cut to the. I'm 11 hours in, and it's only 14 hours long. It's longer than that if you do all the side quests and, you know, stuff like that, and collect all the collectibles, because you know how important collectibles are to millennials. Graphically wise, it looks great. It runs great on my machine. I haven't had any problems with it whatsoever. I had one crash that was down to shadow play, but I do know there's a lot of people having issues with this. So if you are, don't blame me. I know it's an Nvidia issue, and I was reading that there is a beta driver available that kind of fixes it. So if you're having issues like that, then go and get that driver. My only downside of the graphics is sometimes when I've been looking through the scope, the light has been all so glary and shitty that I haven't been able to see the Germans. The Germans generally are wearing the dark uniform, and I haven't been able to see them at all. And that has been a bit of a problem, but it hasn't happened that often. It's not on every level. The sound is really top-notch. I mean, the accents is great, the gunplay, the sound of the guns is just meaty, and it's just this. It's the kind of game that when you fire the guns, you push your lips out like Sylvester Stallone and go, you fucker. It's that kind of thing, and you even shaking your hand on the mouse as it with the bit of recoil. You know, it's like the meaty, you fucking firing at the krauts, and you see the blood splatting off them as their arms come off. The gunplay is awesome, and the sound of it is so meaty, guys. It's that. I love that. I love the actual. You know, the actual is, yeah, it's good. So how was the gameplay, the story, the gameplay, the story, the story? Well, the story is a big pile of banter piss. It's just so far-fetched, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but hilarious. I've had more laughs at this than I did in the entire time I played South Park. It's hilarious, guys. Absolutely. It's just total tongue-in-cheek, doesn't take itself seriously, but that only happens after about 6 or 7 hours. It starts off all serious, and they've turned BJ into some kind of pufter. I don't want to fight the Germans much more because I have twins, 2 little babies. I don't really want them to grow up in Nazi America. You get the idea, guys. He's this big fucking ponce. One of his friends dies, and he's all, I see your wings, your wings are glowing. And let's just go fuck yourself, BJ. Get a fucking gun, shoot a few krauts, and you'll feel a hell of a lot better. And he's all poncy, but then as the game goes on, further on into the game, he then starts to, fuck everything. Who gives a fuck? Give us a big fucking gun. And then he just goes around killing everybody. The story is just funny. Really, just don't take it seriously. If you take it seriously, you'll hate the game. But if you just don't take the story one bit serious, I mean, there's one bit where you bump into these rednecks and there's one of them playing the clarinet, one sniping, and you were having an argument with the leader in the middle of a gun battle with clarinet music and this orchestral crescendo building up. It is fucking hilarious. I was laughing my tits off. So you get the idea. The story is just, it's totally not serious, but then it does get serious. You've got the Ku Klux Klan talking to the Nazis, which I thought was quite funny. Two bunch of fucking racists talking to each other, which I thought was a nice touch. But then you've got the leader of the resistance, this black woman who's complete racist. It's just, it's all fucked up, the story. I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest. I didn't get this for the story. I play this to shoot Germans with huge guns, and I'm having real, not that I've got anything against Germans, live and let live, was all part of our history. And if I ever see a German, I wouldn't mention the war at all. Much. But it's all about shooting Germans. And you get lots of guns to do that with. You get your usual array. You got your pistol, then you've got your little submachine gun, then you've got your heavy fucking meteor machine gun. Then you've got this shotgun thing, then you've got this laser beam thing, and you can pull guns off the mountains as well. And you get these huge laser cutters and flamethrowers and all that kind of stuff. And as you go through the game, you find these weapon modification kits, and each weapon can be modded 3 times. And I've pretty much unlocked all of the stuff now on all of my guns. You get scopes, silencers, bigger magazines, more damage, and all kinds of stuff. There's loads to loot in this game, guys. It all flashes like but the game itself is fun. I'm not gonna say it's more fun than the last 2. I'm enjoying this way more than I enjoyed the last 2. I think the gunplay is better, and I think the fights are better in this one. You even get to ride on the back of one of them big mechanical flamethrower dogs, which I found hilarious. It's just so absurd. It's so fucking absurd. There is some bad things that you do need to know. Listen carefully, guys. He's the bad. Where's my bells? When you're doing the levels, you can either choose to stealth them or just go in guns blazing. What that essentially means is there's a commander, or maybe 2 commanders on the level, and if you are seen or fire a shot while they're alive, they will fire up the alarm and reinforcements will come, and you'll have to fight way more units than you ever thought you would have to. For me, that's a good thing. I kind of like the alarms to go off because I like the gunplay and I like shooting Germans. So for me, it wasn't an issue, but in one of the maps I went into, I raised the alarm as I normally do, and I had this big mounted flamethrower, and the entire level just came running at me one at a time through a door, and I beat the entire level without actually entering the main building that I was supposed to go into, which I thought was a bit shit. Well, it was shit. There's no way that the pathfinding and the AI should behave the way it does. The AI can be awful, but on certain levels and certain AI, it's really, really good. They dodge, they dive behind boxes that's hard to hit, and you do need to hit them in the head, a lot of them, because you get perks. There's a perk system. It's not like the perk system that you normally get in a game where you get perk points to spend. In this, it's all down to the way you play the game. If you do, kill 20 people with a headshot, you'll get a new ability like a passive ability, and that's the way it goes throughout. Burn 40 people, and you'll get another passive ability, and all that. I didn't alter my play style at all to collect any of these perks. I don't give a fuck about perks. I just want a big gun and I want to shoot Germans. Have I told you that? I think I have. The other big problem with this is the cutscenes. There's too many of them, way too many of them, and they are way too fucking long. I don't give a fuck about BJ's childhood. I don't give a fuck about his dad. I don't give a fuck about all the lovey-dovey, namby-pamby SJW fucking shite that seems to get throttled down your throats in all these games today. I don't want it. I don't give a fuck about it. It's all just padding. There's more padding in this game than an American footballer's fucking jockstrap. It is full of fucking padding to bloat out the game. It lasts 20 hours. Yeah, I mean, the cutscenes probably last 20 fucking hours. But, I escaped half of them because I didn't give a fuck about the story, to be honest. It's not a story that's like, wow. It tries to be emo, but at the end of the day, it's just an absurd, hilariously bad story with some really crazy characters. Some of it's funny, some of it isn't. It's all about the gunplay in this game. It's all about the gameplay, and the gameplay is really fun most of the time. I'd say 90% of the time you'll have a ball just blasting the shit out of things, upgrading your guns and all that. And I found myself wanting to search the levels for weapon upgrade packs and stuff, because it does make the game more enjoyable when you can upgrade your weapons with scopes and silencers and stuff like that. So it's one of the only games that I've actually really went out my way to search.
You can also dual wield in this like you could in the other two, but for me, I didn't enjoy the dual wielding at all. I just like the single fire weapons, and I love the weapons in this game. They're really good. The laser cutters are amazing. They really are. The flame throwers are amazing. All the weapons is good in this game. There's none I didn't like, and like I said, they all sound meaty. It's not a great game, this. It's a good game, but it's not a great game. But 2017's been a diabolical year for gaming. 2016 was bad, but 2017 is just way, way worse. And this is kind of an average to good game. Certainly not a run out and buy it game. But I got it for £33, I think it was, on Greenman Gaming, which I thought was a fair price for the amount of enjoyment that I'm having and still have. There's still more missions to do on this. You collect these Enigma codes off captains, and then you put them through an Enigma machine, and you get a lot of side quests to go and kill these captains. And the only trouble with that is you have to be able to do the code in the Enigma machine, and you only have a certain amount of cards, and you will lose them if you fail. And what I want to know is, if you lose all the cards, do you just not get access to this content then? Because I did lose a couple of cards doing the Enigma codes. So that's a bit shit. I think you should just get access to it anyway, but you know, gamers are like these days. So there you go, guys. Wolfenstein 2 is not a great game. It's a good game. It's worth, like I say, grab it on Greenman Gaming, or you can pay £40 on Steam. It's up to you. But if you want to support the channel, you can go on Greenman Gaming. Links in the description. It's an alright game. It's actually a good game, let's be honest. And I'm enjoying it. 14 hours isn't a great amount of time for this kind of money, but it has replay value with the fact that you can select the other guy at the beginning, get a totally different type of weapon, and get a different guy coming through the story to hear his side of things. So I'm going to do that, and I'm probably going to stream my second playthrough of this, because I have enjoyed the first one, and the gunplay is just great. Killing crowds, guys, has never been as much fun as it is in this game.